everyone. Let me just check on YouTube to see everything's working and then cut my own sound because otherwise we'll have a lot of echo. But apparently we're live. My YouTube isn't updating, so let's refresh it and see. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. It's working. Everything's fine. Hi, Sarah. I'm saying hi live. We've had surprisingly few tech issues setting this up, which is amazing.
Incredible.
Yep. So as the banner that I put on screen says, we're doing a co-writing chat today. I'm here with my friend, fellow author, and my editor, Lynzie Fitzpatrick, who writes gay romance as A.L. Bates. Thanks for being here, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
I'll make you introduce yourself in just a second. But a bit of background on this channel. If you're new here, my name is Alina. I'm a fiction writer. I post videos on YouTube about books and writing, basically. That's the story. And because I'm the host and I can do this, I don't have to tell you all about me. I can make Lynzie do it about herself. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, well, hello, everybody. This is the first time I've ever been live on YouTube, so I'm going to try my very best not to swear.
Oh, no, it's fine. You can swear on my channel. I'm not monetized yet. We swear a lot here.
Perfect.
It's all good.
No, I'm very glad to be here, and I've known Alina for many, many, many years.
It's been
how many years?
I don't know. I mean, 6, 7, something like that.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Because it was before Wayward Ink publishing times.
Yeah, yeah.
And that happened at the end of 2014, and I'd already known you for over a year then.
Yeah.
So 2012, 2013, that's when we first connected, I think. So
and we started in a funny way because we started as you being my marketer.
Yeah.
Now
I did that for a while. Yeah, I did that for a while. I was doing marketing for Lynzie, and then she started working as an editor for my publisher back then.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
And I strong-armed her into writing gay romance, which means I said, "Hey, why don't you write this?" And she said, "Oh yeah, sounds like fun." That was the
and then ended the downward spiral.
Yeah, and then when she started working as an editor for them, I was like, "Oh wait, Lynzie edits. I need an editor." So after Wayward, most of my projects were edited by her or Nikki, who's here. Nikki J. Marcus, you know her from YouTube, Nikki. Everyone. Who's here on YouTube, not here now because it's the middle of the night in Australia. Yay, time zones. We love them. Nikki, who I've also met through Wayward Ink Publishing. So the best thing about that place was that I met incredible people. It totally made all the hard thing that followed worth it. Hence why I'm completely self-published these days. It went so well. But yes, so 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. So you also write as Ellie Fitzpatrick, and that's for mainstream genre fiction mostly.
It is, yeah. I do sort of sci-fi paranormal thrillers, which started off about sort of the downfall of society. I stopped doing it this year because, you know, well, the next was going to be about a pandemic, and
oh my God,
no, I just need to have a break.
Well, good one. The fun part is that you didn't want to write your book in your series about the pandemic, and you ended up writing a book set in a pandemic with me. So what I'm going to do now is move this and by this you can't see what I'm doing, people, so I have to be more explicit about what I'm doing. So I switched the stream window on my right monitor because I'm going to do something absolutely miraculous. Nobody's done that before, and I'm going to share my screen with you. So let me just do that real quick so you can see my Photoshop, which you see completely distorted, obviously, I think. Let me check on YouTube. So the reason why that happens is that, okay, it's decent enough. It's fine. So the reason that happens is because my drawing tablet mirrors my monitor, which has a slightly different resolution. So you're now seeing my distorted monitor, which is great for you. Don't you just love it? It's absolutely fantastic. So I'll try not to look at the stream window when I'm talking so that I'm facing you guys. But yes, I'm going to try and work on the cover while Lizzie and I chat all about our project. Tell you all about our project. God damn. It's fine. If you've been on my channel before, you know I can't make words work at all because I'm a writer. So why would I be able to? Oh God. So Lindsay, would you like to tell everyone what setting we used for our book?
Yeah, well, yes, of course I would. Let me just go and check the file.
No, I meant the pandemic bit because I was going to do the geographic introduction myself.
Okay, good. I forgot many times when we were writing. When we started doing it, we thought, oh, how, what can we write about? And what was going on at the time? Well, the pandemic. So we set the story in a hotel with a balcony or two balconies that were 6 feet apart with nice social distancing rules. So that is the setting. And our two characters are on holiday or a working holiday and right slap bang in the middle of a pandemic.
Yep. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. There we go. That's the blow.
Nope. Sarah, I agree with you. Speaking is very different from writing. Let me just remove that banner so that, you can have a full view of what I'm doing, which is not very... Oh, no, it's fine. You don't see a lot more with it, so it's fine. So, yeah, the main thing about this story that you should know is that Lindsay and I decided we wanted to start with something small. We were thinking 20K tops, like 20K max, so that we can see whether, so that we were able to figure out whether we can work together. Because co-writing is not the easiest thing in the world. So yeah, we thought to do this. We thought of doing this little experiment where we'd write a novella, but not a long one. No. Oh my God!
Oh, no,
fuck
what's
you.
That?
Just Photoshop sometimes crashes when I try to remove subjects from their background. It's fine. I'll start it again. You'll see the entire process because why not? I love this. Now it won't close on its own. So here we are, people. Live drama. Okay, now that's happened. So we'll have to start all over again because it was the first step in the project, so nothing was saved. Makes sense, right? But yeah, so the story ended up being 10,000 words longer. But it went well. So as far as co-writing experiments go, we got really lucky, I'd say.
I think so.
Yeah. It took us like a couple of hours to come up with the characters and the setting and the basic plot line. And then we just dove right into it. And that means that we got about 3,000 words a day, I think.
Yeah, easily.
Because we were doing a chapter each, and I was doing mine super early in the morning, and then Lynzie would do hers whenever she could, usually later in the evening, at least for me, because we're 2 hours apart.
Yeah.
It bears to say that unlike me, Lynzie has real responsibilities, like kids of them.
Like horrible children going, Mom, what are you doing?
Oh, God. And I'm waiting for Photoshop to freaking work. There we go. Let's start again, and let's freaking save it from the start. This bodes well for the rest of the live stream, by the way. So, okay, we decided we're doing this short story, and it's going to be pandemic related, but we didn't want to make things very easy on our characters, because why?
Yeah.
Who makes things easy on their characters? Not us. So we decided to give them plenty of reasons to hate each other, basically. We're horrible people. So that's an important part of the story, I'd say, which is what? No, Jesus Christ. Never mind. I was going to say that the person you're seeing on screen would be my character. His name is Darius, and he's a Romanian dude. He works for a design agency. Like, not a design, ad agency. Goddamn. Words, Alina, words. It's fine. So that's what Darius does. It's awesome. And would you like to tell us a bit about your character, Lynzie?
Yeah, so my character is Ardi, and he is a British travel writer who hasn't been home for many years, and he's got a bit of a, would you say, darker story? I don't know. It got a bit sad for a while.
It got. I mean, he has a bit of a tragic backstory, if I'm being honest. So that's all good. Hi, Eva. Thanks for being here, by the way. Yeah, go on, Lynzie. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, that's okay. So yeah, he travels all around the world eating food and writing about it, which actually sounds amazing. I'm not happier. I'd be happier doing that. And yeah, it's hard to say more about him without giving a lot away at the end of the book, but he's quite shy and quite clumsy.
A bit, yeah.
A bit.
There we go.
I'm doing it.
He's quite clumsy, and it's cute. At least my character finds it cute. I also find it cute in other people. Aww. I don't find it cute at all when it's, me being clumsy, which happens a lot. But it's all great. Don't I love this? So in case anyone was wondering, I have no clue what I'm doing here. So it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. God, come on, work. Why won't you work? Because why would you? Things happen sometimes, and today is not my day. Definitely. Let's try this. Why aren't you working? There we go. Remove background. Let's try this again and hope my Photoshop doesn't crash. Did you do it? Like, it might crash again. It's fine. If it crashes again, it's fine, because I have another way of doing it that will take far less time.
Why don't we do that way first?
Because it's not as accurate, and then I have a lot more cleanup to do afterwards, basically. So yes, that's pretty much why. Let me see if it updated it. No, it didn't, but it's fine, because I don't need you to update that. I can just do this. Okay. Control C. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Oh, great.
Oh.
Thank you for that. I totally needed you to do that for me. No, it's fine. It can be readjusted. Like I said, most days I have no clue what I'm doing, and my Photoshop is super super slow because guess what? I'm streaming, and we can't do that. we can't have nice things. Come on, boo, work. So this will work eventually. It's fine. I think this is a good enough placement for him. Might need to be smaller. So I have a basic idea of what we're doing with this cover. We're going to have both characters on said cover, and right now I'm just doing a ballpark placement, and I'm going to refine this. What do you call it? This selection, and then continue. I'm not sure how far I'll get with this cover today because this takes forever and my Photoshop is freaking slow. So yes. Okay, let's chat a bit about the co-writing experience.
Yeah,
Because
I'm mesmerized by your little white bits by the arm there.
yeah,
It's
it's never perfect, which is fine. But this is why I can always refine the selection, and it's a lot easier when you have a tablet for that than trying to do it by mouse. Of course, if you just do it by mouse, there are other options to select and mask. But this one works for me because I can get like super detailed with my selection, and that's fine. It's also not the most time efficient one, but I don't miss any important bits either. Also, I'm not a Photoshop expert. I'm just decently good at making covers that fit my genre. Just so we're clear. If you want a Photoshop expert on YouTube, try Piximperfect. That man is a god. He has super detailed tutorials, and yeah, I watch them all the time. They're like masterclass level stuff. So go give him a follow, I guess. So I know why I wanted to co-write, because it sounded fun and I wanted to try it, and that was basically it. So why did you want to co-write with someone else?
Well, I was in between books anyway. I had got to a point in the series that I do as Ellie Fitzpatrick. So I'd done book 4 and it had come out and everything, and I'd got a little bit of writer's block, so I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. And then I'd been toying around with doing like a young adult book, and it wasn't going very well. So, and I think this whole sort of pandemic situation, I needed to have a creative outlet, and actually this gave me the opportunity to just put a bit of pressure on myself to do something.
True.
Do it in a totally new way as well, and it really works. And since I've done it, I've picked up other stuff and started properly writing again. So it's been a really, really good experience.
Yeah, it's been the same for me, because I was working with you on this project first thing in the morning. Usually the first thing I did after coffee was to get the chapter written, so that if you had time, you wouldn't have to wait around for me to do my shit. So I typically started a day with 1,500 words written before 11 a.m. And then I'd go on to do my, that's not good, to do my my chapter for other projects that I was working on. I was currently, no, I was at the time writing bits of the werewolf book I'm writing, which will be the first in my werewolf series, because I'm rewriting my entire werewolf series because I'm insane. Also, I blame Claire for it. ClaireCounter.com for everyone who doesn't know her. She's rewriting a lot of her older books, and I decided to rewrite this one because I had some, I don't know, bad memories attached to some of the characters, and I didn't want to continue writing it. So I'm completely removing those characters from the series, as you do. Um, um, Plus, I had some ideas, and I wanted to work them in. And so I'm going to rewrite Shiki's book entirely, and then the second one will be partially rewritten, and they're going to be books 2 and 3 in the series instead of first and second. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so this selection here didn't do a really great job with this sleeve, and I have to fix it. Yay, great. I totally love that. So yeah, it helped a lot with that rewrite, and I was also working on An Accidental Boyfriend, which is one of the books in my Battle of the Book series. So it went really well. I had a lot of days with at least 3,000 words, which I wouldn't have had otherwise, like clearly no. Because I don't know, I was tired anyway, but because I started writing so early, everything else just came into place and it helped a lot. Do you think our approach was kind of unconventional for co-writing, given that we were doing absolutely no planning at all?
Yeah. We had an idea, didn't we, of where we wanted to go, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk. My bit was when I got the chapter back, and it was like, "Oh, tell me all about cameras," and I was like, "I don't know anything about cameras."
I mean, he was a travel writer doing his own photos, so it was a fair assumption. But it turned out to be really funny because then we were like, okay, but what do we do now? Because this guy knows nothing about cameras whatsoever. Okay.
But no, it was quite funny because nothing ever happened the way I thought it was going to happen. So when I was writing,
Yeah, same.
Of sort of where, oh, this is what's going to happen. I know it's what's going to happen, and I kept thinking, oh, I'll just give you some notes. And I thought, no, let's see what happens. And I think, well, given we didn't know what was going to happen from chapter to chapter, that kind of created quite a unique story.
Oh yeah, that's true. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who's a planner, like a real planner. Don't do it. You'll hate it, and you'll hate us. You're also rewriting things, Eva. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me just put this comment on screen here. I blame Claire for every rewrite project I get into because it's usually her fault. She doesn't always agree with me, but it's fine. it's fine. Everything's fine. So yeah, we didn't plan at all. We just didn't, and it could have turned into such a freaking mess.
Yeah.
Luckily, it didn't. I don't know how or why, but it really didn't, and that was awesome. But I really, if you're a planner, don't recommend it. How are you when you write your own books, Lynzie? Do you plan a lot or just go with the flow?
Do you know what? I have a plan, and it was very much like this process. Actually, I have a plan, and it doesn't ever go into that plan. It always goes off somewhere else. So I think when you know your characters, it's easier for them to sort of lead the way. And I think that was what was useful with us, is that we knew what our characters would do. We were coming at it from our character's point of view.
Yeah.
So they steered the course of the conversation, and I think it worked for the setting that we were doing, but maybe it's probably more beneficial to do more planning. I mean, we were quite lucky. We had 14 days in the same setting, so
yeah,
it wasn't going to be a lot thrown at us other than lunch, really.
Yeah, that's true. It worked because of the setting and because of the premise, because otherwise it would have been a complete disaster.
Yeah.
Um, to be fair, I don't always outline a lot, and it depends on the book. So when I'm writing mysteries, I outline a lot more than when I write, just your typical um, contemporary romance. But I always try to know my characters well, because if I know my characters, then I won't write anything that goes against the character, because I feel like that's where things go off the rail. If you're trying to stick to a plot point that puts your character in a position where they would never do that ever in their life. So yeah, I think that helped. But we do plan to write more together in the future. And I have a feeling we'll need to plan more
I think so. Yeah.
because we want to write longer books and have them kind of be a series or something. So yeah, it wouldn't work the way it worked this time. But what I did find extremely inspiring was reading someone else's chapter,
Mm.
because it's like you get a ton of writing prompts every morning when you read the chapter, and you're like so inspired afterwards. It's awesome. I love it. I totally love it. Um, I absolutely love how weird this selection is sometimes. Um, by the way, if you're wondering why this happens, it's because of highlights, which are super white and they blend into the background. So Photoshop thinks they're not part of the subject, they're part of the background. So yay, it's
So are
lovely.
you adding the white then to it, or I'm trying to work out how you're doing it.
So this is the masking bit. So I add stuff that is missing, and I subtract stuff that it left behind, like those whites um, near his arms that shouldn't be there. But see this bit here that I'm working on now, it was a white highlight, and it thought it didn't need to be there, so it took it out. So I have to repaint it basically. Um, but yeah, it's a fun process.
You've got to have lots of patience to do it, haven't you?
Yeah, also I was supposed to start my timer to track my work, but I forgot. So I'll just see how many hours we spent on stream and add it manually afterwards because I'm great. I never forget things, important things, as you can surely tell. So
So how are you going
yeah.
to fix that sleeve?
How am I going to what?
You got the sleeve here, and it's got this big white. I'm
This
pointing. I don't know why I'm
this
pointing.
one. This bit here. I'm just removing it from the mask. So
Okay.
this is still there. It's just masked. So if I remove the mask, everything will show up. But
Okay.
because it's masked, it just hides it from the layer. So I'll have to do this again for Paddy's character. So that's going to be fun. This used to annoy the life out of me when I started because I didn't have the patience for it basically. And now I just find it super relaxing. If I'm not streaming uh, while I'm working on covers, which I don't do often, I usually listen to audiobooks. So I have oh God, no. I have an audiobook playing, and that's it. I just spend an hour correcting this, whatever Photoshop is doing. Um, there are some bits where it's completely thrown off by the pixels, and I have to, be careful about it. See, here, this bit, it removed it entirely, which is not a great idea because I kind of need it there. Otherwise, the shirt will, oh God, no. Oh, no. Otherwise, the shirt will just look weird, like there's a chunk of it missing. But this is a relatively easy fix now. It doesn't bother me anymore. And like I said, I've gone through so many audiobooks while working on covers because I usually listen on double speed or 2.5, the normal speed. So I can, like, if I work on a cover for 2 or 3 hours, I'll go through half a book or just an entire book, depending on how long it is. So yeah, that's the thing. So about the co-writing bit, would you say, in order for it to be successful, that the two authors need to have similar styles of approaching things?
To a certain extent, I think it's really important that you have an understanding of the other person's style. I think it really helped that I'm familiar with your work. I know.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've picked up so many of your manuscripts before and gone through them that it wasn't a challenge from that point of view to sort of work out where you were going with things. And
true.
So from that point of view, insofar as styles, I think we do write very differently. So because I'm currently doing the sort of first pass of the story now, and it's interesting looking at it, because it is still, or certainly half of it at the minute is still 2 different books, 2 different stories written by different people. So it's quite nice to go through
and blend it together.
Yeah, but I think it helps that we have a sort of similar interest in what we were trying to talk about.
Oh yeah, true.
And that works. I think if you're coming at it with somebody who's just totally different, then you're going to clash.
Yeah, and I think it's more so, just as a bit of a background, we decided to go with 2 POV characters. I wrote one, Lynzie wrote the other one, because that worked best for us. Just hi Sarah, welcome to the stream. Let me just put your comment on screen real brief. So that was, I think that's the easiest way to go about it when, oh God, no, when you're just starting to work with someone, because it's a lot easier. You don't have to write in the exact same voice. And I remember when we started, at first there was a lot of dialogue that we'd edit for each other. Yeah. And then the longer it went, the less edits we did on dialogue. So I guess it's an adaptive kind of writing and collaborating, because the more you work with someone, the better you are at mimicking their style. That's right, and the way their characters talk and react and things like that. But it was a very interesting exercise. Let me figure out. So the thing I hate most about masks is the hair and making it look kind of seamless. I'm not really good at it. I have a few tutorials on just doing brushes that mimic hair and repainting hair. I'm probably never going to do that because it's just too much work. And you pretty much paint every strand of hair, and I'm not that good or that patient. But there are tools in Photoshop that help you kind of refine the edge a bit, and I kind of use those instead. This character here has pretty forgiving hair, as you can see, which is always lovely. But if you have a long-haired character, then it becomes a bit troublesome, a bit annoying, a bit you want to kill yourself by the end. It's fine. So yeah. And another thing I'd say is that you really have to enjoy the other person's writing. Like you can't just co-write with someone whose writing you hate. Like that's never gonna happen. I mean, it can happen, but you're gonna have a tough time and you're gonna hate every moment of it, which kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah. But to me, it was definitely something I really, really needed to try. for myself, because I was so curious about it, and I really wanted to try with at least once. And now that I've tried, I feel like it suits me, because it provides fresh inspiration and a lot of external motivation, which for me is important to not procrastinate, um, which was great. And I want to do more. Just so you know, people, we've already been discussing the subject matter for our next um, project, which will start whenever Lynzie wants to. So basically, we plan on releasing this book later next week.
Wow. Okay.
So the thing is that I will probably finish the cover in a couple of days. Let me just see what's going on here. Right now, Lynzie is going through it to do an editing round, and then it will come back to me to go through her edits and add my own if there are any more left. But as far as I know, that process is going fairly quickly. So if it keeps going the way it's been going, we're going to have this book released by the end of the week, which means we still have to work on the cover, which is my territory, and we also need to do a blurb.
Wait, what?
It's fine.
That was sprung.
What? You forgot we need a blurb for this book?
Didn't I do it at the start?
No.
Okay,
That's a good enough blurb for telling people about the book on stream. And not really good as a sales pitch, but it's fine. Most authors hate blurbs because blurbs are the bane of our existence. I'm starting to love them, and it's mostly because lately they haven't been a huge disaster when I tried to do one. So that's encouraging. But once we have that done, we can release the book. And for the sake of our sanity and our accounting expertise, which I have almost zero, we decided to go with a Kindle Unlimited option for now, because it's easier to manage between two of us. But there are other options. So there are services. I know of a web one, but I forget the name. I can look it up if anyone wants it, where you can just sign up for it. You publish the book through them, and they just divide your entire income automatically, which is an option, and I would really take it if we went wide. But for now, we're just still testing this, and we're going to go with Kindle Unlimited. Sarah, I completely agree with you. It's a lot more fun to write blurbs for other people's stories.
Yeah. Actually, it's a lot easier as well to write it for other people's stories.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find it easy because.
Yeah, because I mean,
I will be doing it. I don't know.
Yeah, I find it really relaxing to know that I always have someone else to double check it. So now I have you, but usually I make Mike look through them because he has a very different perspective than I have on the book, and he's like the reader reading it, not another author of books. So his feedback is usually pretty spot on. He tells me when I'm rambling too much or when stuff is unclear. But yeah, that I find that super relaxing when I don't have to decide everything on my own on a blurb. It's fantastic. And it's kind of like, you feel like you have backup. Right? You have backup. That's pretty much it. Oh my God, don't tell me I'm done with this selection. Oh, yes, I am. Awesome.
Save it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Okay. Let me close. Wait, let me just see what we're doing here. Close this. Come on. Or don't close it, because why would you? No, I don't want to make any changes. Permanent. So, okay, cool. I have this one. Now it's time to bring our second character. Where's that lovely, lovely boy? There we go. And now we wait. So let me go through the comments real quick, because I have another one from Sarah, and I'll put it on screen because it's easier for me to read. I think it has to do with not being connected to the eccentricities of the story personally, at least for, yeah, that's true. That's true. Because when you're doing it for other people, you're not caught in what you think is important. You actually focus on what's important, which is harder when you've written the book, because you just can't tell what's really important. Sometimes everything seems super important because you wrote the damn thing. Come on, please. Please, Adi, don't annoy me. Yeah, that's my boy. Okay, let's leave it like this for now. And mask the boy. I will show you the other option to do the selection that's faster, crashes less, and it's less annoying. You just go here. Come on. Yay. Okay. And you take this brush and you just increase it. And then you wait, because this is Photoshop. Okay, so Lynzie, which was the most difficult part for you in writing with someone else?
Oh, good question. Well, it was probably the most difficult, but the most rewarding thing was just not knowing. When I got your chapter, I didn't know what was going to be in it whatsoever. There was, like I said before, I had an idea when I was writing my chapter. Oh, I can see this is what's going to happen, and then your chapter would come in. It'd be totally different to what I was expecting. And initially, you were a bit like, "Oh, okay," and then actually, it worked better, because then I could respond as my character and come up with something quite unique. But it took a while to sort of get my head around not having an idea of where we were going and having no boundaries. But I think that was also the most rewarding part of it.
True. I agree with that.
I really don't like putting Zs in realize. That really upset me.
Oh, and you hate spelling color with...
Oh, God, yeah. I miss my U's and I want my S's back. That was hard.
By the way, despite the fact that Adi is a British citizen, we decided to go with American spelling for consistency. So poor Lynzie had to suffer through it.
Oh, it was awful. Actually, yeah, that was the worst bit of it. It was the spelling. And it still is. Throughout the editing process, it really is grating on me. But
it's all good. It's all good.
It's fine.
I mean, you kind of have the hang of it from working with me in the past, because there are a lot of expressions you were like, "Are you sure this is how you're supposed to say it?" And I was like, "Yeah, because it's slang and whatever." And you were like, "Oh, okay, sure." Whatever.
I learned a lot.
Yeah, because I mean, if my what do you call her, English teacher from high school would see how I write now, She would probably cry. We are taught British English primarily in school. Uh, and the reason why I know so much US English slang and why I use it more is A, business environments use US English mostly. B, movies. and C, Cartoon Network. I swear to God, Cartoon Network is responsible for most of my vocabulary. Because when we finally got it here, I was a teenager, and it wasn't dubbed. Some of it wasn't even subtitled, depending on the time you were watching TV and whether they'd had time to subtitle it, so how new the show was. So it was just English. You either got it or you didn't. So that was fantastic for me, because otherwise I wouldn't know a lot of vocabulary that had to do with sci-fi settings and, space cowboys and whatever. Which was absolutely fantastic. But because of that and all the American movies that I later was exposed to, I kind of switched to American English without realizing it first. And then I just couldn't go back anymore because I was using it all the time for work. But yeah, I think my teacher would cry to see how I spell now.
I think like very proud.
I mean, yeah, but also cry a little. it's like a few summers of Cartoon Network undid her work of years and years. So yeah, I totally get why I should be a bit upset. But it's fine. It's fine. Everything's going to be fine. But yeah, that was fantastic, and that's why I don't use British English. But fun fact: when I started writing my first book, Bad Blood, I had not been exposed to American books. So all the books I'd read in English were British books. So I would use British punctuation for dialogue and everything, which looked really weird for everyone else who wasn't British. So yeah, that was interesting. And I was like, why do you don't you use like the single quotation mark? Because that's how print books did it, just a single one. And then I was like, oh, that's just for the UK. Okay, cool, great. Okay. I have to edit everything in this book now. And you'd think find and replace would work. It didn't. It didn't, because it replaced every apostrophe ever in the entire book. So that was disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I was clearly pressing the quotation mark, which is the same one, but we won't talk about that. So that was horrible. But yeah, that's how I started, and then I learned like to do things properly. But it was weird because I was using UK punctuation, but US spelling. So
oh my god.
It was like, but to be fair, I got on top of that before it got to anyone else. So no editor ever saw that. Thank God, because they would have totally hated me. Like, fair enough, though. That was such a weird mishmash and a disaster. Yeah. By the way, that's also one of the books I'm planning on rewriting.
I was just going to ask if that was one of the books you were going back to.
Yeah. So for the Bad Blood series, I'm going to completely rewrite the first one and the second one. The third one, which was the one I wrote in 2018 and you edited, that's not going to change much. because
it was perfect.
yeah, it was way better than the first two. And I did do like very in-depth edits for the first two, but the thing is, I want to change some plot points in there. But you know how I like redemption arcs a lot?
A
And
lot, yeah.
yeah, and how there's a redemption arc already in um, in the third book.
Yeah.
That's so the character. I'm trying to tell you things that you know because you've edited most of the books, or know of them at all. So the character that's redeemed in book 3
Yeah.
will at some point return, and he will be Shiki's new partner in the werewolf books.
Okay.
Yep. And after that book, they will be like the main character in the next 3 Bad Blood books, which will be Bad Blood Rebirth. And yeah, that's going to be fascinating. People won't hate me at all for that. Okay, Photoshop work. So yeah, that's one of the book I'm going to rewrite. But do tell us, what are you working on right now, other than our projects? Because you said you've started doing some serious writing, and I want to know what it is.
Yeah. Well, when I first started writing, I started writing a sort of teen book, and my son is going to be 12. Oh my God, this year. So I kind of think, I want to write something for him. So I've got an idea in my head of what I want to do. It's going to be a sort of fantasy-esque book.
Okay.
It's going to be quite dark and funny. That's all I seem to be able to do. But it's quite complex. So at the minute, I'm writing the backstories of all the peripheral characters.
Okay.
It takes the pressure off having to do, a lot of serious work, and it's actually just quite fun. So,
true.
Minute, I'm sort of 20. Well, no, it's not 20. 10 years before the book I want to publish is set, and I'm just sort of filling out some backstory and working out a few bits and pieces, and it's going to be quite focused on Celtic mythology because I'm
nice.
Wales, and yeah, so I'm going to sort of set it quite locally, and hopefully my son will like it at the very least, but who knows, because he's not a huge reader. So
yeah, but if it's your book, he'll have to read it.
Exactly, yeah, whether he likes it or not. But it's quite sweet actually, because he's published his own little book as well. He did it with school.
That's awesome.
So he's sort of slightly interested, but I would quite like to write something for him, and I have got one final book in my Reacher series to do, but I think I want the pandemic to be, I mean, it might not be over, but at least coming to an end or light at the end of the tunnel, because I mean, we're still in lockdown in Wales, so I've not left my house apart from exercise we're now 14 weeks.
Wow.
So, yeah.
In theory, we're out of lockdown for some unknown reason, which we shouldn't be, because people here are ridiculously stupid when it comes to, pandemics and protecting themselves and protecting others, which is a whole different thing. So yeah, that's absolutely fascinating. But we did go in lockdown way before you, because it was like mid-March for us when we started having a curfew, and then we went into full quarantine. And it was the point where you needed a signed statement to go out, and you could only go out for very specific reasons. And for the elderly, it was only within very strict intervals. So yeah, it was very strict, but then everything relaxed, and we're not past the first wave, people. We're going back there. So we had a few days with a few hundred cases, and I always compare us to Japan, because Japan has like 4 times the population of Romania. our country wouldn't have enough people to fill out the Tokyo area, just to give you an idea. And despite that, we have like 3,000 to 4,000 more cases, or we had, I think we're at 5,000 more than Japan. And Japan has been fighting this since January. So they've had a lot longer to deal with it, and still they're doing way better because people know how to wear masks.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if I see one more person with their mask under their nose, I'm going to lose it. Like, I'm just going to lose it. And in theory, you are not allowed to go into shops without a mask. Ask me how many times I've seen people without masks in the shops. So yeah, it's been a bit of a disaster. But the thing is, I'm not particularly upset. I have to wait for the next Reacher's book because I have them all, but I'm behind with the reading.
Well, actually, you mentioned audiobooks. They should all, by the end of August, be out in audio.
And will they be wide or just on Audible?
I think they're just going to be on Audible. So I've got a real complex. I hate hearing my own words back, so I actually haven't listened to any of them.
Wow.
So it's I don't know how they're narrated. So my publishers have sort of done all that themselves, and
okay.
Yeah, so let me know.
I will when they show up. I was hoping I want to do audiobooks, but it's very difficult because first of all, I don't have access to Audible. So I can only go through Find the Way Voices or something like that.
Is that because you're in Romania?
Yes.
Right, okay.
It's because I'm in Romania, so Amazon hates us. I'm kidding. They don't hate us. They just haven't opened it to any more countries. And they don't plan to move to the UK or Ireland or the States anytime soon. So I have to find other options. But because I have no access to Audible, I have no access to shared royalties. And before the pandemic, I was talking to a friend of mine who's also a voice actor. Sarah knows him because I'm talking about Bob, who plays D&D with her husband, myself, and Mike. Sometimes we're on a long break now, so I might be able to do it with him, but it has to be a contract that I arrange and then go through Find the Way Voices and go through Audible through them, because otherwise it just doesn't work. So it's complex, it's complicated, it's a pain in the ass, and it shouldn't be that difficult. Let me go through the new comments real quick and see what's going on. Eva says, I know so many who don't wear masks unless the place requires it, and they travel and gather all the things. Yeah, they don't even wear them when the place does require them, so that's what's bothering me. Meanwhile, I'm at home because that's the advice. Just stay home if you think you'll die. Oh my God, yeah. So fun fact, I probably shouldn't be outside at all because I have quite a lot of allergies that now affect my breathing. So that's great, but I'm the less likely to get it from my family and the most likely to survive it because my mom, she's in the high risk bracket. My boyfriend's mom is even worse because other than having really severe allergies, she's also allergic to most antibiotics and a lot of medication. So that's not ideal at all because they can't even give her most of the drugs. So I was the one going out all the time. Plus I have the doggo, who I think was behind me at some point on camera. He's sleeping now, but I have the doggo and he needed to be walked. So I went outside with him and went once a week to get groceries for everyone. But other than that, I refused to go out for months and months. So I had to go out now a couple of times because we're trying to use this period where we're not in total quarantine to maybe finally move. because we're supposed to move in together. But our renovation plans were stopped by the quarantine. So we're wrapping that up now, and we're hoping that at the end of the month, we'll be able to move. So after that, they can quarantine us again. I don't care. I'll just stay inside. I still have the statements I had to fill out every day to walk my dog, so it's fine. That seemed super ridiculous. But by the way, stories from Romania. There was a guy who put his fish, like he took the fish from the tank, put it in a bag, and went outside with it because he needed to walk his pet. It was on the news and everything, obviously. Some other girl, she was just like, she couldn't live without buying some new clothes for 2 days because this was early days of the quarantine. So she took her cat and put her in a bag, in a handbag, and decided to go to the mall to buy a blouse. That was fantastic. And my dad thought he should be funny, so he went outside. He lives in the countryside, so after the pandemic was so strict, not the pandemic, the lockdown was so strict, he took his 2 turtles and he was walking them outside of the garden, like on the road, and he was like, I'm walking my pets, it's going to take a while. He has turtles because he has a sort of a pool for his geese and ducks. So because of that pool, turtles started living with the ducks and the geese. So he's homesteading, so that's why. So that was fantastic. I saw the turtles and all the dinosaurs he has. The dinosaur are the poultry, by the way. Mike calls them dinosaurs, and I took to doing the same thing. I can't figure out if this is part of his stupid shirt or not. It's annoying. No, it's not. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Let's take it out. The color is so close that it's weird. Let's see if I make it black. Maybe it will be easier for me to figure out what's the actual shirt and what's not. I hate this bit because this confuses both Photoshop and me. So it's lovely. So yeah, that was stories from the pandemic with Romanian crazy people. Jesus. Sorry.
Oh, I lost you then.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If my mic starts to get funny, just tell me. I just have to stop my camera and restart it. It's happened before on stream. It's lovely. I'm a pro at troubleshooting stream stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where does your shirt end, boy? There. Okay. Now I see it. There's a dip in it, and then, you have to cut everything that's after that. Oh, Jesus. Why did I choose a guy in a white shirt for this? Oh, yeah, because there aren't so many Indian models on stock photo sites that fit our character description. So that was fantastic. Let me see how this goes. Okay, so until there, I have to cut. Jeez. So, Lynzie, I wanted to... How hard was it for you to decide between the characters, not characters, the cover options? Because there were a few, but not so many. Was it hard to find someone who matched your character?
Yeah, I think so. I always find it difficult anyway because you have a preconceived idea of what people look like. So yeah, but it's fine. I think this one works.
I think it works, yes, but it's not how I imagined him from your description, and I feel the same way about mine. I mean, it works. It really works, but not fully. But as long as it's close enough. I mean, they have the same hair color and eye color, so that's close enough, I guess. Could be worse, because the biggest issues I've had was with the Warriors of Vis cover, Sky and Storm, which, by the way, Lizzie edited that one too. So if you have any complaints, go to her. I'm kidding, obviously. But yeah, because I needed a medieval warrior, and historical stock photos, I mean, I don't need trashy photos for that. I just need a proper warrior. And the problem is that the way I describe them is not exactly how they would look, because I want them like either to not have a beard, or I don't know, have long hair and look young. And most super strong warriors don't look young in stock photos, and it kind of matches and kind of doesn't, because when your character is 20, I do understand they look kind of older because they've been in battle all their lives, but he shouldn't look 40, god damn it. Maybe 30 if it was a really rough battle, but that was horrible. By the way, you went through quite a few cover changes for your books.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I I wasn't really in control of them. I did I self-published the running game and did the cover myself, and then it was taken on by a publisher, and they revamped it all and did a cover, which I didn't really like, but there we go. And then that publisher closed. Yay! So I with another publisher, and then we rebranded everything. And I do like the covers now, but initially I started off sort of using my own concept art, and now I do a lot of the covers myself.
But that's awesome.
On brand.
Yeah, no. Like the issue with control is really, sometimes it's really annoying. I was like lucky because the one cover I didn't like that much was, I mean, it's not that I didn't like it, it's that it didn't completely fit the philosophical ideas in the book, was for the first Craving Stains cover, which but after that, the artist that was working with Wayward Ink was a friend of mine. So that really worked because she kind of knew what I wanted and what I was going for, which was great. But yeah, sometimes, you get a cover, you completely don't like it. And I think at some point you have to learn when to fight for things and when to not fight for things with publishers. So if the cover is good enough, then just leave it. And trust that they know what they're doing. That said, I've seen some publishers out there which I never submitted to because I hated their covers. I did that.
Name and shame them now?
No, I don't want to name and shame them, but I know that it annoys me that I know even I could do something better, and I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying I'm the best cover designer that ever designed, so to say. But I kind of know what I'm doing in my genre. That's my main advantage, I guess. Oh my God, I hate your shirt, Adi. I hate it. Also, I hate myself right now for picking this photo. But I didn't have another photo of this character, of this model that didn't have his hands hidden, and he wasn't cut halfway through. So yeah, what was I saying before that?
You're talking about
the book cover. So I'm not the greatest, but I've seen one of my friends publish with them, and when I saw her cover, I wanted to cry. So, and the thing is, I could make her a nicer cover, but it's a publisher, so they probably won't be okay with that. So that makes me really, really sad. Oh God, what have I done? We don't know. Alina did something. We don't know how that happened. What the hell is wrong with you? Come on. There we go. Photoshop just went insane for a moment. So yeah, it's kind of depressing when I know it's a really cool book from a really cool author, and I can't say anything because it's their baby and the publisher has final say anyway. It's why I'm just happy self-publishing. I don't think I'll ever go back to traditional publishing. I considered it a few years back, but then I got a taste of having full control over everything, and yeah, I don't want to give it away, the control I have. But you're a hybrid author, like still are a hybrid author, because you have your Richer series traditionally published, and then you have your stuff self-published, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm lazy. You see, I don't want to get involved in it. I'm quite happy to relinquish control of most things and just
fair enough.
Somebody else do the work. But I used to be quite. I had a lot more time, I think, to actually dedicate in getting things right and doing things. And I think there's always stuff with when you're working with a publisher that their priorities can be different to yours, and it doesn't work for everybody. I'm not saying it will work for me forever, but for the second flow is okay. But I mean, I think self-publishing has come a long way since when we started.
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot more resources out there right now. It's easier to find out what you're supposed to do. The resources are really, really easy to find. Like before, we had to dig super deep to figure everything out, and now you just don't have to. It's perfectly fine. You can find everything, and there are courses, and of course there are scammers. We've had enough of scandals here on AuthorTube, and we know that scammers come with the territory, but it's still way, way easier than when we started, and that's encouraging. And I am working hard on converting you, so I might get it done. So I'm trying to see if I missed anything, but I think I'm pretty much done with the selection. Wow. To be fair, I didn't expect to be this far into it, because we've been streaming for like an hour and a bit, and I was thinking like, oh, it will be okay if I can get at least one of the guys sort of masked. So this is lovely.
This sums up the whole project. Everything's going a lot faster.
Oh yeah, everything. Yeah, I want to say that because we had a timeline for everything, and we expected them to go a certain way. What? Wait, I have an issue here. Something went really wrong. No, please, no. I don't. There are some buttons missing. So see. No, don't do that to me. So the problem is there were some buttons here for the selection. that I now don't see anymore. Okay, there it is. This one. It wasn't showing up on my thingy. So now we're going to put Adi in the back because he's slightly darker.
Oh, really? Fine.
And I don't mean, I mean darker is in more shadow. God damn. Oh my God, the shadow is deeper on him, and so it will be easier to not have to darken the first character too much, because then he'll look weird. Oh God. Oh my God. The thing you say, Alina, the thing you say, God damn it. He's in more of a shadow. That's what I was trying to say. Oh my God. I don't want to get in trouble. I really don't want to get in trouble. I need to make them, you know, like similar heights.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What? Wow, wow. Thanks. Because right now, Adi looks a lot. Okay, I think this is fine because he's kind of bigger, but I can put him slightly behind him so that we have some perspective, which works. My problem is this dude, I cut off his shoulders. So there we go. No, this is not working. Oh my God, no. Okay. So this is why I hate it when I don't have full body models, because you know, it's fine. I'll color correct the hell out of these characters, and I think my character is slightly taller anyway, right?
Yeah, a bit.
Okay, cool. Cool. We're good. We're good. So now let's select both of them. Okay. This is going to be way more difficult than I thought it will be, but it's fine. It's fine.
So what is it you're trying to do now?
I'm trying to position them in a way that kind of matches these lines of interest. So this is an important point. This one's an important point. But it kind of works. I prefer to have an eye on one of these, but it doesn't work with these characters right now and their position, because we'll have text in the bottom region. So, you know, I'll just lift them up a bit, and behind them you'll see a bit of Maltese sky. Because, oh, by the way, we never said this, but the action happens in Malta. Trying to figure out how to place them so that his hand isn't cut, which doesn't work. I hate this. Did I mention I hate it? I'll figure it out in the end. It's fine. But this is the part where I struggle and try to make things work. And wait, I could do this. Adi, where are you? There we go. Yeah, no. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Thank you. What is that? Do you see that on his hand? Oh, I've lost my buddy for this conversation, which is great. I was talking on my own. Let me just see if she can get back in. So this is something that happens to me frequently. I get caught up in what I'm doing and lose sight of everything else going on around me. So that's always awesome. Okay. This is slightly better. So, am I still live? Apparently, yes. Okay, cool. That's good. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate it. I'm struggling here, so, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. I think, though, I need to be higher. Okay, there's Lynzie. She's back. Let me just...
Sorry, we get Wi-Fi problems.
Okay.
We've had thunder and lightning and everything this weekend, so it's a bit crazy.
It's absolutely no problem. I was just asking if you noticed something strange going on with Adi's shirt. Like, there's a chunk of it missing, and you can see.
Where? I can't see it anywhere.
Wait,
Is it really obvious?
yeah, here. So in this area, you see that it turned blue for some reason. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Come on. See here.
I see.
You can see it now. Okay. Let me just, for some reason, this is refusing to work as it's supposed to, but it's fine. But this is an easy fix. I don't know how I missed that though. Oh wow.
I think you were so focused on the edges, weren't you? That
yeah, exactly. So I'm just trying to figure out what to do with these guys, because now it feels like he's way in front, and I will have to just do this. There we go. That kind of works. Kind of. I'm trying my best to arrange them. It won't matter in the end when I color match them and everything, but I think this is a better, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Right now, I'm not sure because I flipped him and he looks better, but I'll have to flip the other dude as well, because otherwise the shadows don't really work. There we go. That's not half bad. And now we'll take both of them and lift them higher. And hopefully that helps with how everything looks. Come on. Yep, that's cool. This bit here doesn't matter because I'm going to put all that into a deep shadow for the text, and it's going to be okay. Darius's head is still kind of small for his. I think it's just like, it's too small, man. See, and now we'll drag him down and here. Okay, let me see how this looks. Yeah, way better now, but I need you to be here, and my boy Adi. There we go. Kind of like this. Yeah. To the side, it works. It works, and now I can drag him to the middle as well. And there we go. Yeah, that's decent. Could be worse. It could always be worse. I'll have to color correct them. But while you're here, let's do something. I have various background options, and I need help deciding which to keep. These are not final photos. You'll see watermarks on them. It's because I try to figure out which works, and then I buy the final photo. Because otherwise, I'll have to buy like a bunch for no good reason because they don't all fit. So yeah, let's just load them, and then I think I know which one I want, but I want the second opinion.
Okay.
I have a couple that are way nicer. Okay, there we go. Let's just hide whatever we're not working with right now and increase the one we are working with right now. Yeah, well, forgive the pixelation. It really doesn't matter. I'll try to make it less pixelated. We'll just need this to be in the background somewhere. So this would be a option. I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah, let's move to the other one. See, the moment you start to work with them, you quickly realize which work and which don't. No! And also sometimes Alina presses the wrong button and then she messes up everything. Like now, like release. There we go. I figured it out. So these are some buildings from La Valletta. So this is what you'd see in the back, which is not bad. This is also an option to have some of the iconic waterfront images in the back. That's a possibility. And this is one of my favorites, actually.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, I know. Because you can have some of the buildings on one side or the other and just have, the sea and the sky with the stupid sunset, which I don't know why I'm calling it stupid, but whatever. Okay, and we have two more. These are daytime photos though, but these are exactly from Sliema where the thing is happening. So this is from the waterfront. But I don't like how those stupid lights work because they just get in the way, really. Okay, that might work. Maybe. Nah, I'm not happy with that. At least this one is not as pixelated once you set it up. Okay, and this is the final one. Honestly, I don't care if it's not exactly in the beach resort town that they're in, and it's just Valletta in general, because it's not that big of a deal. This one doesn't have enough contrast, so this is probably going to be out because it just makes no sense. So come on, go away. Our valid options are this one. No. This one, most surely. This one. This is not bad either. Of course, I'll have to blur everything because those are in the distance. You can't have them be that sharp. And this one.
I prefer the sunset. I think the sunset's really nice.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we'll go with the sunset. Let me just remove them so that we can have a better look at it. So this is it. Oh, come on. Oh, I was on the wrong layer. I'm always on the wrong layer. I'm eternally on the, see, and I have this bit which I can flip it. Wait. I can flip it like this so that it has a nice perspective, and we have that bit of a sunset behind Daddy because he's shorter. So that will work. I think that will be the background image we go with. So we won't have time today to go through titling and stuff. C or B, yeah, exactly. That's what we were talking about too, Eva. So everyone agrees C is the best option. So the sunset. I don't have time for fine tuning this and then adding text. So I'll just show you what I plan, so that you guys can see, and also Lynzie can see it as well. Why don't you? Oh yeah, because it's under all those layers. So I'm going to have this arrow here for the distance, and it's rainbow colored because this is gay romance, of course, and we'll have 6 feet on top and a part under it. So this will be somewhere here, probably, or surely, we'll see. And yeah, we'll have title here and the 2 authors somewhere here. So that means we'll probably have to raise them a bit higher because there's a lot of text in the bottom. And I don't always like having text on the top portion because it will cut their hair and whatever. Also, we have long names. So I can't fit them all on the one line. So yeah, that's the plan. And this one is the arrow I'm so proud of because I tried to get like vectors and just edit the gradient, but then they all look like crap. So I made my own arrow in Illustrator. So I'm really proud of it. But yeah, there will be a bit of a gradient shadow here so that the text and the arrow stand out. But if you guys want to see yeah, the shadow is pretty close to what they're looking like, and I can fix whatever differences there are in color correction, so it's fine. If you guys want to see the rest of the cover while I make it, I will record it for you and post it on my website, on my channel at some point. But don't at me if I don't do it quite soon. So yeah. So this is the progress I did today in an hour and a half. Usually a cover takes 4 to 5 hours in multiple sessions. And the reason why you need multiple sessions is because you stop seeing things, like the fact that the chunk of your stupid sleeve is missing. Also, it's preferable if your computer is not the most high-powered computer ever, not to have anything else going on at the same time as Photoshop. Because that slows everything down a lot. So yeah, this has been today's what do you call it, cover design session with Alina. I'm going to stop sharing the screen right now because I want to close Photoshop without problems and not have it crash again. And we can focus on saying goodbye to all of you and doing all the promo bits we're supposed to do, because we're definitely professional authors, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Professional. Before I let Lynzie plug her own stuff, I would like to point out again that she's an awesome author and an awesome editor. So if you need someone to edit your stuff, my 2 top recommendations will always be Lynzie and Nikki. So yeah, that's the end of my plug. So Lynzie, please do another, conclusion for us.
Oh, because the first one went so well.
And another intro for yourselves, and maybe a plug for what you have going on now, like promos, where people can follow you, stuff like that.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for sticking with us today. You can find more about me on lefitzpatrick.com or through Next Chapter Publishing or on Facebook. That's probably the best places to find me. And yeah, check me out, and that'd be great.
Yep. There are links in the description of this video to Lynzie's website, her A.L. Bates Amazon.com page for her gay romance, and her genre fiction under Ellie Fitzpatrick. They're all linked below, so go check them, maybe follow her there, and maybe shame her into creating a proper author central profile for A.L. Bates.
Oh, one day. Takes time.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something, Lynzie, because I'm really great at this. You have until the release of this book.
Okay. Will do. Yes, Mom.
I so like making people do stuff, because I'm way better at getting other people to do what they're supposed to be doing in terms of branding and marketing, and shit at making myself stick with my own plan. So it's always awesome. If you don't know me, I don't know why you've been hanging out for the rest of the stream without knowing, but I'm Alina. I'm a fiction author, born and raised in Romania, still not a vampire. I'm still working on it though. I write a lot of genres because I can't decide on one. So I write sci-fi and fantasy, mystery, romance, and there's another one. Oh yeah. No, that's it. And contemporary romance. I've included all of them in 3 categories somehow. I don't know how I managed that. Oh yeah, I know. I combined sci-fi and fantasy. That's how. Thank you for hanging out with us. We'll probably try to do more live streams as we work on co-writing projects in the future. If I haven't scared Lynzie enough. And I will be back at the regular posting schedule at some point. There won't be an author live vlog on Monday, because you'll see why. I'll announce why in a video. And yeah, that's it. I'll try to post more often on YouTube, which is my mantra for the past 3 years. So I'm definitely not making progress. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everyone. Thanks again for hanging out with you. Oh my God. Clearly, I need to stop. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.